Season 3, Work Done, Physics in Necrotic World, Episode 60. Frictional constant. Welcome, strangers. So you know the fields in maths are sets, groupings of rational numbers, which means numbers that can be expressed in a fraction format that satisfy the rules or the axioms for the systems in question. These possibility fields are considered to be the current reality, which is interesting because in recent physics, knowledge as in the latest few centuries, the buzzword really is relativity. I reckon it's not really just potentials being simultaneously generated but overrun into presence by perception, but it truly is how the person running in space-time can distort the fabric of their reality, and these distortions can amplify the perception of their reality. Okay, so I've said this before, but I think it's really cool, which is why I said it again. And I didn't know if I don't remember if I talked about fields being a mathematical term for groupings, which is why the whole season I've been referencing fields, but I don't remember if I've told this, so I just said it, okay. Frictional constant, right. For that pulling the wooden block experiment from a couple of episodes ago, frictional force is on the y-axis of the y-axis of the graph. The wooden block's weight goes on the x-axis of the graph. The force required is the gradient of the graph, so the frictional constant, aka also known as the coefficient of friction, multiplied by the weight of the wooden block. There exists a linear relationship between the weight and the force required, or the friction. As weight increases, so does the force required to pull the wooden block at constant speed. Steeper gradient of the graph means higher friction. Less steep gradient means lower friction, because the gradient is the coefficient of friction. Homes are insulated with fibers that trap air, which prevents convection, as air is a rubbish conductor, which reduces the rate of dissipation of thermal energy, heat, to the surroundings. The thicker your walls are made, the slower heat is radiated. This insulation, along with the lower thermal conductivity, means less heat is transferred over time, so reduced rate of heat transfer. And this also means that it reduces your heating bills, which is why a few years ago we got a bit of wall insulation, the front wall of our house. We put thermocols. We got a whole insulated because from some grant thing that we could insulate our front wall. So our house was more toasty in the winter and less heating bills. We got less heating bills because we didn't need to put the heater on for that long. It would heat up. The heat would be conserved for longer. Yeah. That's the end of season. That was a nice season. Next season, season 4, is about motion and vectors, but that one's a relatively short season, so I'll try and do this weekend, so maybe today or tomorrow. Yep. See you next time at Physics in Necrotic World. This is your host, Rimona Christian, R out.